Welcome to FNM TV, video 2 of the week of February 3rd. We have Dark Ascension week 1. We have Gordon Wright on the left, piloting Venser Lockdown against Nick Scott on the right, piloting Werewolves Kid. So, Nick Scott's going to play a turn 1 Wolf-Bitten Captives, which is a 1-1 that gets a bonus of +2/+2 if you pay, I believe, 1 and a green. Gordy will start off with a Seachrome Coast, not play any spells, and flip over that Wolf-Bitten Captive into, honestly don't really know. I kind of want to call it Kralin Horde Killer, but I could be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Kralin Horde Killer, though. It's a 2/2 that gets a bonus of +4/+4 when you pay 4 mana. So it comes as a potential 6/6. Can get big, can get silly. He plays 2 mana, doesn't play a spell. That's kind of good for Gordy. The board isn't getting flooded. So Gordy will play Sundial of the Infinite and pass on over to Nick Scott. Nick will draw. Tap 3, bring out a dude. This one is a Daybreak Ranger, which is actually getting surprisingly really good right now. Or it was getting good. I'm not sure how it's going to flip with this current meta. Flip with this current meta. I'm a funny guy. This thing just came out of my mouth. I'm pretty good. It's really good against Delver. Spirits. It's good against anything that flies, particularly. I mean, and then when it flips, it just starts beating face. Although I would particularly like it better if it didn't tap on its second ability like I had originally thought it did. I thought that you can just pay red to have it fight things, so you could like potentially kill off like a bunch of like 1/1s that like, or kill off 3 like 1/1s and like a 2/2 or like whatever at that point, and just kind of like wipe the board with him. But I guess that's just super silly. It would make him obscene, but it's what it is. I don't blame Wizards for doing it, because I would definitely not like to face a red-green deck with that guy and Huntmaster flipped. That would not be cool. But yeah, and Gordy seems to be in a little bit of trouble here, taking some damage from these wolves, and Nick Scott's going to drop down I want to say it's a Reckless Wave. Judging by the art, I'm pretty sure it is. Daily Judgment gets Gordy back in the game. And we're going to see where this one goes. Because he's not playing blue, so there's no counter. He doesn't have the mana for a Fresh Meat if he indeed play Fresh Meat, which nobody does. But, you have to expect the awkward sometimes. Kind of call it out. Oh, what's he got? He's going to Incinerate in response, which I don't think it really matters if you do it in response or not. It still wipes the board. But, yeah. Anyway, continuing along with the turn. Gordy passes. Nick will draw more land. Drop 3 mana for another Daybreak Ranger. I'm not sure how I feel about Werewolves. It's an interesting tribe. Werewolf cards have obviously been printed before, but in this case, they have a unique mechanic attached to them. Which is not a bad mechanic, per se. It got a lot of hate when it first was introduced, the flip cards. I find it interesting that they're going to abandon flip cards completely for the next set. It's already been announced that in Avacyn Restored there's going to be no more flip cards in there, and there's also going to be no more flashback. It's going to be kind of treated how Rise of the Eldrazi was, where it's in the same block, but it feels like it's a separate set because it's a larger set. They include new mechanics into it. A lot of people complained about that in Rise of the Eldrazi because allies, they were around for the first 2 sets, and then they disappeared completely in the 3rd set, not getting any form of support. And it's interesting to see what type of werewolves are going to be getting support in Avacyn Restored, vampires, zombies, what's going to be happening to them, because it's still unknown as to what's going on in there. You can imagine humans, I mean, depending on what the storyline is, you can only imagine by what the title says, Avacyn Restored, that Avacyn comes back and all that stuff happens. So you can see maybe humans getting big. But this isn't a speculation video. This is me just rambling on about random junk. But as the game progresses, it's really just draw, go. not really missing a lot here. A lot of lands being dropped, in which this only benefits Gordy. Playing Venser because, well, he's not dropping any aggro on ground. That Day of Judgment really just dampened his complete game. Gordy will think twice, untap. Keep yawning. I'm sorry, guys. Can't help it. I had jury duty this morning, which apparently got canceled, so that's nice. So he's gonna do Venser's ability of +2, I would imagine, and then Sundial in response to get rid of the Daybreak Ranger completely. Or not. Oh, that's right. He has to do it in the opposite order, I believe. Although I could be wrong. I've never played a Sundial deck. So me watching this is honestly the first time I really get to see one. That's a lie. I've seen them before, but they just confuse me on all types of levels. So he's playing a Full Moon's Rise, giving all werewolves +1/+0 and regenerate if he chooses to sack that Full Moon Rise. So right now he's gonna Arc Trail, which looks like it's gonna be aimed at Venser, and then has to be himself because he can't target Gordy again with the same thing. So Nick Scott will take a damage from his own Arc Trail, and Gordy will bring his Venser down 2 points, or 2 loyalty. Gordy will draw yet another land, but at this point it doesn't really matter because he has Venser on the board and his opponent has nothing. So Gordy's kind of lucking out here that he had that Day of Judgment to reset that board. I mean, he does have another one in hand now, but, well, he's just going to kind of soft lock him with the Stonehorn Dignitary. And with an aggro deck, that's pretty annoying. You win through attacking, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that here. It's frustrating if you're running an aggro deck and just hitting your umpteenth land. You need to be drawing gas. Not that it really matters here because you can't attack with him anyway, but if he gets that, yeah, actually it doesn't really matter what he draws. You just need to keep drawing stuff to wear out Gordy's removal at this point. It's a pretty much a lost game, in my opinion. Incinerate on the Venser. Venser goes down 3. So Venser starts to move towards that ultimate yet again. Slowly, but still moving forward. Forward. Always twirling towards freedom. If anybody gets that Simpsons reference, you're awesome. In the comments section, you better put what episode that's from. And no Google searching. You know that off the top of your head. So Reckless Wave comes down for Nick. And posing absolutely zero threat on board is a Reckless Wave. It's not a threat to life total, not a threat to Gordy's, Venser, not a threat to the Stonehorn Dignitary. Not a threat at all in this game, but nonetheless, it's something he had to put on board because he has nothing else. Drawing a zillion lands sucks. And it's probably a bad move, Gordy. I disagree with that decision. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, I thought Waif would die regardless, because its toughness is still 1. Okay then, whatever, sure. Day of Judgment for no reason. But maybe Gordy didn't catch that in game. That's a Daybreak. And Oh, okay, I know why it stayed alive. It's because of the full moon rise. That's what happened. Oh, okay. I was just wondering where that went. I'm very observant, as you people can tell. So, Venser blank. Venser's at 10. It flips some jigs, which is solid. And, maybe Nick has something here? Maybe, because Gordy looks like he only has a Day of Judgment. I would hope he would have something, because otherwise Venser's dead. And then Venser's dead. Yep. Yes, sirree, Bob. No ultimate. No nothing. Just a bunch of blanks. And that's uncool, Gordy. That is uncool. You ultimate at Venser. Misplaying. But, whatever. Stuff happens. They're both at 0 board position. Although, yeah, I would ultimate that Venser like a boss. Cast that DOJ. Or you can drop another Venser. That's cool too. I'm a fan of dropping Venser after Venser. Mayor of Averbrook comes down. Visibly upset is Nick Scott. Drawing 1,000,000 in 2 lands in a deck that should only be playing about 23 or less. C'est la vie. When we think of Werewolves, you can construct it pretty much like the monocolor decks in the format. Like, Zombies has 8 1-drops. Red Deck Win, I'm pretty sure, is the same. If you're playing Reckless Waifs or Grim Lavamancers or whatever, like, you have 1-drop choices. You could play, obviously, all the dual lands. You do Wolfbitten Captive and Reckless Waifs as 4 of each. 2 drops, I'm not really sure what you would throw in that. In the comment section below, outside of the Simpsons reference, you guys should include a list for Werewolves that you think would be good with a strong curve. If you don't know what a curve is when you hit 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. Maybe not even a deck list, just what you would want to curve into 1 through 4 or 5. Post that below. Because I could look it up, but I'm a bit of a loss and I want to see some viewer participation in these videos. Nick Scott drops down the Phantasmal image, which isn't really a Phantasmal image, which is a Phyrexian Metamorph, because I misspeak. And it looks like Venser has that soft lock going on with Dignitary right now. Blink that Dignitary. Go +2 on Venser. And I think Gordy's realizing that he forgot a win condition in this deck. Outside of just straight trolling with Venser. It's like, yeah, I'm going to let you do dudes, and I'm going to Day of Judgment, and then I'm going to keep exiling stuff until you concede, till you submit hard. I'm pretty sure he runs no finishers in this deck. Land, Vensers, and troll. That's what Suk used to do. I posted a deck tech video if you guys go back in our archive and look at his Venser deck that's up there. He really didn't run too many win conditions. I think Sun Titan was his only one. But if you watch some of his videos, they went on and on and on. And he would just legitimately straight troll. And this is before the Stonehorn Dignitary combo came out. I can only imagine what it would be at now. but some of those videos are ridiculous. I would go back in time and watch those, but there would be 2 hours of my life that I would sit watching another Venser game or the Venser mirror matches that happened. So if you get some free time, check it out, the deck tech, and maybe one or two of Sook's old Venser videos, but yeah. So Nick Scott's accumulating a pretty big Venser army. I mean, a pretty big wolf army there. If you could get a swing in, it would indeed be game. However, I don't think it's going to happen. And, yeah, he pretty much has to just keep plussing Venser at this point, because otherwise he's going to lose. And Nick needs to find an answer to 2 Stonehorn Dignitaries. So he has to draw consecutive answers back to back to back to back to back. Which is rather interesting, and not likely at all, because he needs to, like, double Slag Storm on one turn to kill them all. And that's a ton of wolves that are, like, 4/4/5/5s right now. Yeah, I think they're 5/5s. Those are all Howl Pack Alphas, I believe. Which is just insane. Absolutely insane. That's a bad deck idea. Someone should build Jund Werewolves. Black, red, green werewolves. Burg. So, all these wolves are extremely large, with a lot of damage attached to them. However, it's just not going to happen unless, like, Nick draws, I don't know. He might have, like, a Devil's Play in deck, or a Red Sun Zenith, or maybe old school Fireball. That would help. I mean, over 2 turns, that would get him the win. Assuming Gordy doesn't have a leak, which I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure Gordy still has a leak, but it does nothing at this point unless he taps out for an X spell, and taps everything. And Nick looks like he drew yet another land. No, I can't even tell what that is. It's a 2-mana card. It's just tapped a red and a green for a 2-mana card. Oh, probably Full Moon Rise, which gives everything +1/+0, so these wolves are all like 6/6s now. And he has seemed to be a Kralin Horde killer. I mean, not Kralin Horde killer, something of the Pass, or Terror at Kruin Pass, or whatever the double strike werewolf 5/5 is. Which I actually really like. I like Kruin Outlaw. I think it's a very strong werewolf choice. It presents board threat really quickly and gives a first strike for a defense on the first turn that you play it. Using an argument as, oh, but it just dash removal is pretty silly. I mean, you can say that about anything, like, oh, just dash removal, it's not relevant. But, you know, it's whatever. Think of it how you will. And if I was Nick Scott, I would just scoop at this point, because it's just not going to happen. You have no board presence, you have no creatures, he's going to Venser Ultimate, or if he was smart, he would Venser Ultimate. And, there you go, Gordy. Venser Ultimate once. You finally get the emblem on board after you brought him up to 17. And that's the game. So, it was only in 1 match. However, video 2, Nick just conceded everything. But, yeah, that's it. Gordy wins in round 3. Zip.